The temple walls shimmered as Orunmila stood before Amadioha, his voice steady and calm. "You've come far in your training, but what's to come requires more than strength alone. You'll need allies, gods who can stand with you in the battle that is approaching." Amadioha stood silently, his eyes focused, knowing the gravity of what Orunmila was about to reveal. "You must seek out these gods, and each will play a role in the wars to come," Orunmila said, raising his hand. In the air before them, the glowing images of 10 deities began to form. "First, you will need Ikenga," Orunmila began, "the Igbo god of strength, time and achievement. Ikenga is a fierce battle god who helps warriors find victory. He is revered for his ability to turn effort into success. His presence will give you the strategic advantage you'll need in the coming conflicts. He protects the Igbo people, and his strength lies in guiding their aspirations." Ikenga's image shimmered, strong and resolute, a warrior with horns on his head, symbolizing achievement. "Next, you will need Ogun, the Yoruba god of iron, war and craftsmanship," Orunmila continued. "Ogun is known for his strength in both battle and creation. He is the master of the forge, the one who can bend iron and shape weapons, making him invaluable. Ogun's power over metal and warfare has shaped many kingdoms, and he fights with unmatched ferocity." Ogun appeared before them, surrounded by flames, hammer in hand, his eyes glowing with the intensity of a blacksmith and warrior. "Then there's Tano, the Akan god of war, justice and rivers," Orunmila said. "Tano is not only a god of war, but also of righteousness. His role in the battle will go beyond mere strength. He will help maintain the balance of justice as the conflict unfolds. He is a protector of the Akan people, and his connection to water makes him a powerful ally." Tano's figure appeared next, calm but resolute, holding a blade that glistened with the light of justice. "You will also need the unpredictability of Set, the Egyptian god of chaos, storms, and war. Set thrives in chaos and can turn any situation to his advantage. His experience with both destruction and survival in the face of disorder will be invaluable. Though feared by many gods, Set knows how to manipulate the forces of war like no other." Set's image flickered into existence, his eyes gleaming with danger, surrounded by swirling clouds of chaos. "Anansi, the Akan god of wisdom and trickery, will be another important ally," Orunmila continued. "Though not a warrior in the traditional sense, Anansi's cunning and ability to outsmart even the most powerful beings will serve you well. He is a master of strategy, using stories and deception to turn the tide of any battle. His knowledge of the human world and the gods makes him a key player." Anansi's image appeared next, a spider weaving a web, his gaze sharp and calculating. "Then you must call on Kibuka, the Buganda god of war. Kibuka is a fierce warrior god who descends from the heavens to fight for his people. His prowess in battle is legendary, and his ability to lead armies into war will be crucial when the conflicts arise. His strength is unmatched among the Buganda people." Kibuka's form shimmered into view, spear in hand, his body adorned with the armor of a seasoned warrior. "You will also need Mujaji, the Lobodu rain goddess, but more than just a bringer of rain. She holds immense power over the elements and can create storms that devastate enemies or save allies. Though not a typical war deity, her control over nature will provide an unpredictable advantage in battle." Mujaji's presence materialized next, her figure cloaked in mist and rain, her power evident in the way the air seemed to shift around her. "And don't forget Iktomi, the Zulu trickster god of transformation and deception," Orunmila added. "He is both a trickster and a shapeshifter. Iktomi can turn a situation on its head with a single act of mischief. His unpredictability will confuse your enemies, while his ability to manipulate situations will ensure that the odds are always in your favor." Iktomi appeared, a shadowy figure with ever-shifting forms, his mischievous smile hinting at his chaotic nature. Ala, the Igbo goddess of the earth, fertility and morality, is another essential ally, Orunmila said. Ala is the keeper of the underworld and the protector of the land. She governs justice and morality, making her an important force in ensuring that balance is kept, not just in battle, but in the aftermath of what is to come. Her power over life and death will be critical. Ala's form appeared, a regal figure, her presence heavy with the weight of justice and the earth itself. Orunmila paused before revealing the final name. His voice took on a deeper tone as he said, "Lastly, you will need Shango, the Yoruba god of thunder, fire, and war. Like you, Shango wields the power of thunder and lightning, but his pride and his connection to battle make him one of the most dangerous gods to approach." Amadioha's expression darkened. Why him? Shango wields a double-edged axe and is the protector of the Yoruba kingdom. His presence in battle is like no other, and his command over both fire and thunder makes him invaluable. But he is also proud, very proud. He does not like to lose. He's like two gods in one, a god of battle and a god of thunder, and his powers rival even yours. Orunmila looked directly into Amadioha's eyes. "You must seek him first, but be careful. A fight will break out between you two, and the clash of your powers could tear apart the mortal world. I am not worried for either of you, but I am concerned about the destruction your powers will cause." Amadioha's eyes narrowed. "And if I defeat him?" "He won't give up," Orunmila warned. "Even if you overpower him, Shango will only become more competitive, willing to sacrifice his life if it means a chance to win. That is why I caution you. Do not use the new power you've unlocked. Fight him with your thunder alone, for if you show too much of your strength, it will only push him further." Amadioha nodded, absorbing the gravity of the task. "You will find Shango in Oyo, living among humans," Orunmila added. "He protects them from the shadows, but when you approach him, be careful. If you sense the fight is inevitable, teleport both of you to the abandoned planet at the edge of the universe. There, the clash of your powers won't destroy the world of humans." Amadioha remained silent for a moment before speaking. "I will do as you say." Orunmila placed a hand on his shoulder. "This will not be easy, but you are ready. Gather these gods and be prepared for what is to come." The journey back to the heart of the sun was swift, the golden rays parting to welcome Amadioha as he stepped once again into the radiant domain of Anyanwu, the sun god. The light here was warm, almost alive, and as Amadioha walked toward the Temple of Flames, Anyanwu greeted him with a broad smile. "Ah, Amadioha, you have returned," Anyanwu said, his voice full of warmth and power. "It seems Orunmila has sent you back with a purpose." Amadioha smiled. "He has. I've completed part of my training, and now I must recruit the gods for what's to come. But first, I've come to you." Anyanwu's smile widened. "You've grown stronger. I can sense it. The core of the sun has sharpened your powers." He stepped closer to Amadioha, his fiery aura flickering slightly. "But there is something you must do before you gather your allies, a task that will cement your name among the people of Igbo land." Amadioha looked curious. "What task?" Anyanwu's expression grew serious, his eyes burning with intensity. "There is a village in what is now known as Maduk. It is plagued by Mmuo Ojo, evil spirits that torment the people, spreading sickness, fear, and chaos. These spirits have taken root, and the people cry out for deliverance. No mortal has the strength to banish them, but you, Amadioha, you have the power to end their suffering." Amadioha straightened, his eyes narrowing. "Tell me more about these spirits." Anyanwu's voice dropped to a low, rumbling tone. "The Mmuo Ojo are born of malice and darkness, feeding on fear. They were once bound to the underworld, but something has unleashed them, and now they roam freely, attacking villages, poisoning crops, and spreading illness. They have claimed the people of Maduk as their victims, and their numbers grow stronger by the day. Amadioha's jaw tightened. I will destroy them. Anyanwu nodded, his fiery eyes glowing. Good, but be cautious. The Mmuo Ojo are not like ordinary spirits. They are ancient and powerful, and they have the ability to bend the minds of mortals. Their influence is like a poison that seeps into the soul, making it difficult to distinguish friend from foe. They will try to turn you against yourself, to break your will. Amadioha's thunderous aura crackled around him as he clenched his fists. They will fail. Anyanwu placed a hand on Amadioha's shoulder. I have no doubt, but you must know that defeating these spirits will mark you forever among the Igbo people. Your name will be spoken as one of the strongest god in Igbo mythology, the one who brought peace and protection in a time of darkness. Amadioha's eyes blazed with determination. I will rid them of these spirits, and then I will gather the allies Orunmila has named. Anyanwu smiled, his pride in Amadioha clear. I have no doubt you will succeed. But before you go, know this. Once you confront the Mmuo Ojo, there will be no turning back. Their darkness will try to stain you, but your thunder must be the light that drives them away. Amadioha nodded, understanding the gravity of the mission ahead. I will not falter. Anyanwu stepped back, the flames around him rising as if in acknowledgement of Amadioha's resolve. Go now. Maduk awaits you. With a swift nod, Amadioha turned, his body surging with power as he left the Temple of the Sun. He felt the intensity of the task ahead, the need to prove his strength not just to himself, but to the people who would one day remember him as their protector. The land of Maduk was quiet when Amadioha arrived. The village lay shrouded in an unnatural stillness, the kind that speaks of fear lurking in every shadow. The sky above was dark, though it was midday, and the once fertile fields were wilting under the weight of a curse. Amadioha walked through the village, sensing the fear in the air, the heaviness that clung to the land like a sickness. He could hear the whispers of the Mmuo Ojo, their presence like a chilling wind that brushed against his skin. As he reached the center of the village, he found a group of elders waiting. Their eyes were filled with desperation and fear, but when they saw Amadioha, hope flickered in their gazes. Great Amadioha, one of the elders spoke, bowing low. We have heard of your power. The Mmuo Ojo torment us night and day, and our people suffer. Will you rid us of these evil spirits? Amadioha nodded, his voice calm but firm. I will take care of it. Now return to your homes. The elders bowed in gratitude, their hope reignited by his words. Amadioha turned his gaze toward the surrounding fields and forests, feeling the presence of the Mmuo Ojo growing stronger. Where are they? Amadioha asked. They come with the night, the elder replied. When darkness falls, they descend upon us, poisoning the land and tormenting our people. Amadioha looked toward the setting sun, the horizon already growing darker. Then I will meet them when they arrive. The night came swiftly, bringing with it a cold wind and a sense of impending doom. As the moon rose, a strange mist began to creep over the village, and with it came the faint whispers, voices carried on the wind, speaking of fear, despair, and hopelessness. Amadioha stood tall in the center of the village, his thunderous energy crackling around him like a storm on the verge of breaking. He could feel the spirits drawing closer, their malevolent presence thick in the air. Suddenly, from the mist, they emerged, dark, twisted figures with glowing eyes, their forms shifting and writhing as they moved through the air. The Mmuo Ojo. They circled Amadioha, their voices hissing like snakes. You dare to challenge us, God of Thunder? You are nothing. We will break you as we have broken the others. Amadioha's eyes flashed with lightning, his voice a low rumble. You will do no such thing. The Mmuo Ojo laughed, a dark and sinister sound, before launching themselves at him. Amadioha's thunder roared in response, and the ground shook beneath his feet as he unleashed his power. Bolts of lightning shot from his hands, striking the spirits with blinding force. But the Mmuo Ojo were relentless, their forms twisting and reforming even as the thunder struck them down. They whispered words of doubt, trying to seep into Amadioha's mind, trying to weaken his resolve. "You cannot destroy us, God of Thunder. We are eternal." But Amadioha stood firm, his mind clear. "You are nothing but shadows." With a final earth-shattering roar of thunder, Amadioha summoned all of his strength and struck the ground with a bolt of lightning so powerful that it tore through the village, sending a shockwave through the land. The Mmuo Ojo screamed as they were torn apart, their forms dissipating into the night, banished back to the underworld where they belonged. The village was silent once more, but this time the silence was one of peace. The darkness had lifted, and the air felt lighter, freer. The elders emerged from their homes, their eyes filled with awe and gratitude. "Amadioha, you have saved us." Amadioha simply nodded, his gaze distant. "The spirits will not return." As the villagers gathered around him, praising his name, Amadioha's mind drifted back to the task ahead. The battle with the Mmuo Ojo had been but a small test of his power. The true battle, the one Orunmila had warned him about, was yet to come. Far from the mortal realms, in a place untouched by time, the elder gods gathered in a sacred council. This was a place known only to the most ancient beings, a space that existed between realities, a plane where only gods could walk. The walls of the council chamber were carved from the very fabric of the universe itself, shimmering with the essence of countless worlds and realities. The air in the chamber was thick with tension as the elder gods assembled around a vast circular table. These were not just any gods, they were the oldest and most powerful beings in African mythology, deities whose names were whispered in reverence and fear by mortals. At the head of the table sat the elder god of the Yoruba, his eyes glowing with ancient wisdom. His power was palpable, radiating from him like the heat of 1,000 suns. Next to him, the elder god of the Igbo sat in silence, her gaze cold and calculating. Across from her, the elder god of the Akan, a being whose very presence seemed to hum with energy, watched the proceedings with quiet intensity. There were others too, gods whose names had long been forgotten by mortals, but whose influence still shaped the world in subtle ways. Their powers were vast, spanning the elements, the underworld, and the cosmos itself. The council had been called for one purpose, to discuss the return of Amadioha from exile. The elder god of the Yoruba spoke first, his voice booming through the chamber like a rolling storm. "Amadioha has returned," he said, his tone grave, "and his power has grown." There were murmurs of agreement from the others, though some gods shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The elder god of the Akan leaned forward, his voice sharp. "He was exiled for a reason. His arrogance, his recklessness, he is a danger to the balance we have maintained for eons." The elder god of the Igbo spoke next, her voice smooth but laced with caution. "He is one of our own. The Igbo people worship him, and his return will bring them great strength. But you are right, his power is unpredictable, and we cannot afford to ignore that." The elder god of the Yoruba nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Amadioha has always been difficult. His pride rivals even that of Shango, and his thirst for justice can sometimes cloud his judgment. But the wars that are coming will require gods of his caliber. We cannot deny his strength." A silence fell over the chamber as the elder gods considered the gravity of the situation. The political dynamics of the council were always delicate. Each god represented their own people, their own domains, and their own interests. While they were bound by ancient pacts to work together, their goals were often at odds with one another. The elder god of the Akan broke the silence, his eyes narrowing. Do we really need him? The younger gods are becoming too powerful, too arrogant. Perhaps it is time we remind them of their place. The elder god of the Igbo shot him a sharp look. Amadioha is no ordinary god. His power rivals many of us in this room. He is not one to be cast aside so easily. The elder god of the Yoruba nodded in agreement. The coming war will require all of us, and Amadioha, reckless though he may be, will be a crucial part of that fight. His exile was necessary once, but now we must bring him back. Another god, one whose name had been lost to time, but whose power was ancient and vast, spoke from the shadows. His voice was deep and unsettling, as if it came from the very core of the earth. Do not be so hasty. Amadioha's power is great, but it is also dangerous. You speak of him as if he is a weapon to be wielded, but remember, we do not control him. The tension in the room thickened, the weight of those words hanging in the air. The elder god of the Yoruba spoke again, his tone firm. We may not control him, but we can guide him. Orunmila is watching over him, and that gives me confidence. If Amadioha is to return, he must understand the gravity of what is to come. He must understand the balance we are fighting to protect. The elder god of the Akan scoffed. Balance? You speak of balance as if it has ever truly existed. We have been fighting for control since the dawn of time. The balance you seek is nothing but an illusion. The elder god of the Igbo's eyes flashed with anger. The balance is real, and it is fragile. Without it, chaos will consume everything. Amadioha's return is necessary, but we must tread carefully. His power could tip the scales in ways we cannot foresee. A quiet murmur spread through the room, the gods exchanging glances filled with uncertainty. The political game among the elder gods was fraught with arrogance and greed, each one vying for dominance while pretending to seek harmony. It was a delicate dance, one that had been played for millennia. But now, with the coming wars, the stakes were higher than ever before. The elder god of the Yoruba stood, his presence commanding the attention of all in the room. We will bring Amadioha back, but we must be cautious. The future is uncertain, and the forces at play are beyond even our understanding. The younger gods grow more powerful, and the old alliances are fraying. If we are not careful, we will lose control of everything. The elder god of the Akan leaned back in his chair, his expression unreadable. Very well, but know this, if Amadioha turns against us, we may not be able to stop him. The elder god of the Yoruba gave a solemn nod. Let us hope that does not come to pass. As the council drew to a close, the elder gods dispersed, each retreating to their own realms, their thoughts heavy with the knowledge that the balance of power was shifting. The world of gods and men was on the brink of war, and the return of Amadioha would either restore that balance or shatter it completely. The city of Oyo was alive with the sounds of everyday life. Market stalls bustling with traders, the laughter of children echoing through the streets, and the hum of a people deeply rooted in their traditions. The skies above were clear, and the sun bathed the land in warmth. Yet, hidden beneath this serenity, something powerful stirred. In the shadows of the bustling city, a man moved silently, watching over the people. His presence was unknown to most, but those who could feel the pulse of the divine knew he was there, protecting them, guarding them from dangers they could not see. This man was Shango, the god of thunder, fire, and war. But to the people of Oyo, he was simply a mysterious figure who appeared when danger was near and disappeared just as quickly. He lived among the humans, watching over them from the shadows, his true identity hidden from mortal eyes. Shango sat atop a hill overlooking the city, his double-edged axe resting beside him. His gaze was sharp, focused, as if he could sense something approaching, a disturbance in the air, a shift in the balance of power. He could feel it deep within his core. "Something's coming," he muttered to himself, his voice low and filled with anticipation. A faint smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "At last I can have some fun again." It had been too long since Shango had faced a worthy challenge. He was a god of battle, and though he had protected the people of Oyo from the shadows, there was a part of him that longed for the thrill of combat, the clash of powers, the crack of thunder and lightning as it tore through the skies. He stood, picking up his axe, and looked out over the city once more. The wind shifted, carrying with it a faint hint of something unfamiliar, something powerful. He knew instinctively that it wasn't a mortal threat. This was something more. Amadioha. Shango's eyes narrowed, a grin spreading across his face. So it's finally time. He had heard whispers of Amadioha's return from exile, but he hadn't thought much of it. Until now. The thunder god was approaching, and Shango could feel the tension in the air, the inevitable clash of their powers drawing nearer. It was only a matter of time before their paths crossed. The idea of a fight with Amadioha excited him. There were few gods who could match him in power, and even fewer who could challenge him without fear. Shango relished the thought of a worthy opponent, someone who, like him, wielded the forces of thunder and lightning. But there was more to this than just a simple battle. Shango knew that Amadioha's return meant something bigger was on the horizon. The balance of power among the gods was shifting, and the world of both mortals and gods was on the brink of something catastrophic. "Let him come," Shango muttered to himself, his grip tightening on his axe. "I'll be ready." Elsewhere at the edge of the universe, on a forgotten planet, long abandoned by both gods and men, a young boy trained in isolation, his body moving with a precision that defied his age. His master, a figure cloaked in shadows, watched over him with a keen eye. This boy was no ordinary child. He was the abandoned child, born of a mortal mother and a godly father, a demigod whose power had not yet fully manifested. But it was only a matter of time. The boy's master, a trickster god whose name was whispered in the darkest corners of the universe, had taken him under his wing, guiding him, shaping him for the battles to come. This master was as mysterious as he was powerful, known to few but feared by many. He had seen the future, and he knew that this child would play a pivotal role in the war that was coming. The boy's movements were sharp, calculated, as he practiced with a weapon that seemed too large for his small frame. His brow was furrowed in concentration, his muscles taut with the strain of his training. But despite his youth, there was an intensity in his eyes that spoke of a power lying dormant within him. The master watched in silence for a moment before speaking. "You're improving," he said, his voice calm but with a hint of amusement. "But you're not there yet." The boy stopped, breathing heavily, and looked up at his master. "When will I be ready?" The master smiled, though the gesture held no warmth. "Soon, but first you must learn control. Your power is growing, but without control it will destroy you and everything around you." The boy nodded, his gaze serious. "I understand." The master stepped forward, his shadowy form looming over the boy. "Good, because when the time comes, you will face challenges unlike anything you've ever known. The gods will come for you, but you will be ready. I've seen to that." The boy clenched his fists, determination burning in his eyes. "I won't fail." The master's smile widened, but there was a darkness in his gaze. "No, you won't, because if you do, there will be nothing left to save." The scene shifted, the shadows deepening as the master turned away, leaving the boy to his training. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. This child, abandoned by both gods and men, would be the key to the coming war. And when the time came, his power would either save the universe or tear it apart.